Chapter 4, the definition of non-dual love. The essential nature of pure love of God is beyond description. You can't really say what it is. I try our best to talk about it, but you can't really describe it very clearly. It's just like love. What word do you have? How do you describe love? I mean, you know, when being in love, everyone's been in love. What words can you do? You can talk about it. You can point to it. You can give examples. But can you actually just make a word description that will cause you to know just exactly what love is? Well, yeah, it's the same with Bhakti, with the spiritual love, with devotion. There's no precise word for it, but everybody knows what it is, because it's your nature and you experience it from time to time. So, he said, trying to describe the experience of pure love is like a mute trying to describe a particular taste. You know, a person that can't speak, and you give him a piece of Lindt chocolate, how would that person describe that? There's no words to describe it. It's purely experiential, but it exists and it's there. So occasionally, but it says occasionally this pure love is revealed in a qualified person. Sometimes you see these people that have this pure love. Not necessarily what you would call enlightened people. Women particularly, you'll find it. Not so much in men, although sometimes in men. But you'll see somebody who just loves everybody unconditionally. Sees everybody as the same and loves everybody unconditionally and never expects anything. Yeah, my first wife was like that. That's why I fell in love with her. And it was just amazing. There was no demands and just giving love all the time. And not thinking about it, not thinking, oh, I'm loving you and therefore you should do something for me, you should love me back. She never expected me to love her back. Because the love was so satisfying in itself, and that was just her nature to love that way. So sometimes you see that. You see that in these people. When I met my second guru, Swami Chinmayananda, I immediately saw it. So this love is absolutely pure. It's unqualified. It's just unconditional. Yes?
Isn't that the love of a mother for a child as well?
It can be that, yes, you can see that. Now, but the love of the mother for a child is unconditional love, maybe. But it's only really useful if she loves her husband and everybody else the same as she loves her child. It's pretty easy to unconditionally love your child. But this kind of love is unconditional for everybody. It's not. You love old people, you love ugly people, you love criminals, you love everybody the same. Because you see everybody you just see the love there. When you see a person, you don't see the person, you see the love. You see the light shining there. You see, and you love the love. And that love is shining in everybody, in every person. It's this love, this awareness, this existence, this consciousness that is what's attractive to us. You'll see the personality is superimposed on that. Superimposed means it's like the person is sitting on top of it. But the love, the light shines right through from behind that person. And you're not bothered by their personality at all. It's just kind of amusing because you feel, you see, you experience that love. It's unconditional, right? Nothing changes it. Right? Nothing affects that love. Conditional love means what? Well, I love you when you are behaving in harmony with my likes and my dislikes. Right? When you're doing what I like and what I want, then I love you. But when you're doing what I don't like and what I don't want, then I don't love you. That's conditional love. But this kind of love, it doesn't matter whether the person pleases you or not, whether you like the person or not. It doesn't matter. You love the person because it's only one person. If you love yourself, then you have to love everybody else because it's non-different. The life, the love, the light in you is the same light, love, life that's in me. It's not a whole lot of different lives and loves. The love in everybody is the same love. So, when you see that in yourself, then you see it in everybody else. Or maybe you see it in other people and then you discover it in yourself. I don't know how, maybe it works that way. But with me, it was when I discovered it in myself. And it was really funny when I first discovered it was, I had a girlfriend and I loved her. And then she went off somewhere. And I don't know where she went. And she wasn't there. And I loved her just as much when she was gone. And I thought, well, what's that? It can't be her. I must not be loving her because when she's gone, I love her the same as when she's present. So that's got to be me. And yeah, that was right. She just made it possible because she fit in my fantasy of what a beautiful person was, that she became a symbol for my love and she directed my love back to myself. And what I loved was actually myself, and I didn't realize it at first, but when she went away, the love was still there when she was gone. And I thought, well, that's amazing. So it's about me, it's not about her at all. The love is independent of her, whether she's here or whether she's not here, what she's doing, what she's not doing, what she says, what she not says, the love is still the same. Because there's only one person, there's only one love. It looks different because it's coming through different instruments. I should have had the other chart up here too. It makes it easier for some of you new people. I was too lazy to get it. So.
German one downstairs?
Huh?
I have a German version downstairs.
Oh, it's all right. It's too late now. Party's almost over.
You want from the teacher's training, they know it.
Yeah, they know it anyway, your teacher training people. So you see this, you can see this in people, particularly women. You meet, or they don't have to, if you're free, then you love everybody this way. Now, obviously, a mother for a child, that's pure love. They don't know. The kid will be the worst little kid. I was like that. My mother had pure love for me because I was a devil. Oh my God, as I grew up, I felt so sorry for my mother. I used to think, that poor woman, she got me for a son. Because I just made her life hell. And yet she was always loved me. I got in more trouble than you can imagine, and she was always there to help me out. Didn't criticize me, anything, just loved me. She did what was necessary over and over and over again, you know. So I got the benefit of that. I got such a tremendous sense of self-confidence. When you're loved by somebody, you have tremendous self-confidence. If you lack self-confidence, it's probably because you weren't loved properly. You were neglected or as a child, or abused as a child. But when you're loved unconditionally by somebody, you have tremendous confidence in yourself. You feel, hey, I'm worthy, I'm good, I'm fine. Somebody loves me. If your parents don't love you, then you have a terrible, terrible life. It's very difficult to be happy here then. And in India, you know, it's really odd because in India, I never met anybody with low self-esteem. Isn't that funny? And I was thinking, why is that? Because everywhere you go in America and in the West, people say, oh, you know, I have self-esteem problems. It means I don't like myself very much. I don't like myself very much. There's something wrong with me. I feel bad about myself. I'm depressed, they say. And I'm thinking, and I go to India, I never heard anybody say that. I had lots of Indian friends, and never one of them ever told me that. I thought, why is that? Why does everybody over here have self-esteem problems, and over there they don't have self-esteem problems? And then I realized, it's because they're loved when they're children. They're treated like little kings and queens. Have you ever seen them? Holy moly. Those mothers love their babies. Wow! They treat their kids like little princesses. I once saw one little boy, it was being pulled down the street, and he had a turban on with a big jewel, and he had silk clothing on, and they were pulling him, and they had an elephant, and he was getting married. He was like 6 years old, and they were marrying him off to another girl, and he was the groom. And he was laying there, and they're pulling him through the streets, and all these people are looking. He was just so beautiful. He was so happy. He was so loved. He was being worshipped. Huh? I thought, you know, amazing, you know, because of this love. So, and what about this love? What is it? It's devoid of material qualities and desires. It's not a love that wants anything. It doesn't have material qualities to it and desires. And what does it do, this non-dual love? It grows and grows and grows. Oh, how's that? But sir, you said it's non-dual, so how can it grow? Oh, it can grow. I'll tell you how it can grow. It doesn't grow, but it grows. What does that mean? It's the same, it's infinite and eternal and universal, but what? As you clean your mind, it seems to grow. As the less and less, because the love is expressing through your mind. If your mind is very narrow and small, then your love is really narrow and small. But as your mind gets more and more big, as the Vedanta stretches your mind and your sadhana purifies your mind, the obstacles in your mind go away and your love just keeps expanding, 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 expanding. It just gets growing all the time. It just feels so amazing. The feeling of it is amazing. You just think, when's this going to stop? When's this going to stop growing? This is so amazing. You know, it's not that it's amazing. There's no limit to how much it can grow because what? Because it is infinite, but the way it expresses in you seems to grow as your mind becomes more and more and more pure. So that's the idea. And what is it? It's uninterrupted. I said earlier, it's just a constant current. It doesn't break. It doesn't go up and it doesn't down. Just steady. It's like a hum. It's like it just feels so good all the time. It's constant, and you don't have to do anything about it. It's uninterrupted. That's called sahaja. It's a technical term. They also call it sahaja samadhi in the yoga world. Sahaja means it's constant, and it's always. It's always experienced as your innermost consciousness, the I. You're always experiencing this love. Okay? It can't be something you're going to get. If it's infinite, it's not something that's going to come. It's something you're always experiencing. Huh? But because I'm living outside, out here, I don't feel it. It's too general. It's too diffuse. And when I'm focused like this on little objects, on experiences, thoughts and experiences, and constantly focused on what's coming up and what's happening in every minute, like continuing to focus on the next experience and the next thought that's appearing, I don't feel myself. I don't feel or experience myself. I'm just too focused here. This is why you want to get your mind calmed down and quieted down. String the thoughts out. Make your slowly, your vision gets wider, and then you start experiencing this. It comes from the background, starts to become the foreground, and you start to experience it more and more and more. It's there all the time. But because I'm constantly extroverted, remember, this process is what? We're going from an extroverted mind to an introverted mind. Right? That's the process of Vedanta, of spiritual life. Right? The mind is turning inward. It's not just focused on. And so the background, the love, the energy, or whatever you want to call it, the awareness, the consciousness, the love, the bliss, that suddenly starts to come in your experience. First you feel it little by little, and slowly, it just becomes constant and steady all the time. So that's what it means here. So you're always experiencing it. Having discovered non-dual love, you see only the self everywhere, hear the self in every word, and speak only of the self and think only of the self. You see that everything is just you. Now, that's non-dual devotion. Now he said, there's another kind of devotion here. It's called guna bhakti, or secondary devotional practice or service. Secondary devotional service is of three kinds. This is primary. That's called parabhakti. The first verse is parabhakti. Limitless bhakti, limitless devotion. Constant, uninterrupted, always present, unconditional love. And then what? Now, secondary service is three kinds. Why is it of three kinds? According to which guna predominates at any time. Or according to the motivation, and I talked about this, distress, desire, or knowledge that brings one to devotion. We said people come to become devotees for what? Because they're suffering, they're in pain, because they want stuff, or because they want knowledge. That's what brings them to devotion. So, and what are these three kinds? Well, if your mind is tamasic, if your guna is tamasic, means it's dull and heavy, then you're going to worship according to that guna. You're going to be superstitious. You're like the jihadis. You know Bin Laden and those guys? They're incredibly devotional guys. Do you know that? They love God like anything. There's hardly anybody, Bin Laden and those jihadis, they're the most devotional people you've ever seen. In fact, if you looked at them, they all have these calluses here. You know what a callus is? Callus is a you know where you walk on your foot and then the skin gets real thick? That's called a callus. Well, they have them on the forehead. Why? Praying. They keep bumping their head on the ground 5 times a day, and hard and long. And it wears here a callus. It means what? They're devoted to God. But their devotion is completely tamasic. They're violent. Rajasic and tamasic. They're violent and angry, and they're totally fixed. If there's only one God, and it's our God, and if you think anything else, we'll kill you. That's called tamasic. They're superstitious. In most religions, these are dull people. This is why religious people are superstitious. And in you, whenever you're in spiritual world, is full of superstitious people. It's magical thinking. They have all these superstitious notions. Oh my God, you're lucky. You guys probably aren't that much into it. But if you're into the yoga world too much, there's a lot of superstitious beliefs and opinions and so forth going on there. That's because your mind's tamasic. You fantasize things. Or rajasic. This is devotees who want something from God. They're business oriented, they're passionate. I need all this stuff, I got to pray to God. Give me a good relationship, Lord, please. Huh? You know that? It's just people who go on Match.com and they pray to God, please, just today, I need this. Give me, And they're going to do something spiritual. Oh, I'll light a candle for you. I'll give something to charity. I'll help that little old woman across the street. I'll do something nice, but please, God, you give me what I want. That's Rajasic devotion. Sattvic devotion is what we're doing here. That's according to the guna. We're sattvic people. We're interested in knowledge. Our minds are clean, are pure, reasonably pure. Maybe we've got a little tamas and rajas in our devotion, but Vedanta people are what? They're sattvika. They have clear minds, they know what they want, they're ready to think, So we're capable, people like us, because we're sattvic, we're capable of knowing the truth. Because we have this kind of devotion. So, and each succeeding type is superior to the preceding type. So a rajasic person is better off than a tamasic person. Because a tamasic person won't do anything to improve themselves, to fix themselves. They're too stupid. Rajasic people are stupid. They're full of desire, but they're willing to change. Because Rajasic people want more and more of everything. So they want to be more spiritual and more pure and more holy and so forth and so on. And so they'll do the things they need to do to get out of the tamasic devotion. And of course they're ambitious. So Rajasic people are always ambitious. They're never satisfied with anything they have. Tamasic people, I don't care, it's all right, fuck it, who cares? Rajasic people, no matter how much they have, they always want more. They're greedy people. So what will they do? They'll want to develop sattva. They'll hear, oh, if you get sattvic, you're going to have a better experience and you're going to have more love than if you're rajasic. So then they'll get to work. They'll use that rajas to what? To get themselves sattvic. They'll get properly motivated. If they've got a tool for transforming the rajas into sattva, then they'll use that because they've got that energy to transform and to do the work. So rajas is bad, but it's also good. It's in the middle. It can go either way. And then the final one is sattvic. So, and then he says, success is easier attained by informal devotion than by any other means. That's not true. It's sort of true. It's only true at the beginning. But informal devotion, what do we say informal? Informal or normal devotion is what? That's the best place to start But informal devotion is not going to work, what, to get you all the way there. Why not? Because you won't understand the value of what? Understanding Ishvara or Karma Yoga. But it's a good place to start. So if you have love of God, that's a good place to start. And cultivate that. And slowly as you develop that, as you intensify your love of God, then you'll gradually evolve. So, devotion is the easiest because it does not depend upon any other authority. It is self-validating. You don't need... Everything you do is for love anyway, isn't it? Everything you do is out of love. You chase money or sex or power or food or whatever because you love it. So love is motivating you anyway. Huh? This is why it's easy, and this is where you want to start. Huh? And you don't need to depend upon any outside force to get love, because why? Because love is your nature. So everything you do is with love anyway. It's just not directed in the right place now. It's only directed toward objects over here. But at least you got the love. So what you do, huh? Just start with where you are. And then just gradually, what? Increase the object of your love until you gain this non-dual love. And it's at every stage that you're loving, you're validated by that love. In other words, that love is validating itself. So you feel okay. You feel good. Furthermore, devotion is an embodiment. And what do you get, Alta? Furthermore, devotion is embodiment of peace and supreme joy. You feel very peaceful and you feel really happy when you're devoting yourself to the truth, when you're worshiping God. However you understand it. Just in, yes, huh? Uh-oh. See, this is Ishvara. Everything goes south all the time. The chart goes bad and the things fall off. It's good. And what once all worldly and spiritual duties are consigned to God, the devotee need not worry about gain and loss. This is Karma Yoga. Just turn off all your worldly stuff over to the Lord and keep your mind on the Lord, huh? Don't worry about what's going to happen. Stop worrying about whether you're going to find love or whether you're going to have enough money or what you're going to do for your retirement or whether you're going to die tomorrow and your health is going to be all right or not. Just get on with it. And you'll see that everything is taken care of. Huh?
Except the child.
Except the no, I won't give up. Yeah, and don't give up. Never give up. Huh? The biggest qualification is incredible determination. You know this is the most valuable thing, and you're not going to give up. Just keep at it. It's the most beautiful thing. It's the most noble thing you can do. Your mind needs something noble to do. If your mind doesn't have something noble and beautiful to do, it will eat you up. Your thoughts should be going to God all the time. There's a lovely story about this guy who went to the guru and he said, hey, I hear you have a special mantra that if I chant it, I'll get anything I want. You know how everybody wants that mantra. So the guru said, oh yeah, that's true, but forget about it. It's not for you. So the guy's like, he's irritated. So then the guru says, go away. I told you it's not for you. So he comes back a little later and he says, Guruji, please. I know about this mantra. I know you give this mantra. And please give me this mantra. Because there's some things I want here. And the Guru said, I told you, no. This mantra is not for you. And the guy's really irritated. He said, look, you giving this mantra, you're not giving it to me. Why do you give it to those people? The Guru said, because I told you it's not for you. He said, well, give it to me. And the Guru said, okay, I give it to you, but I'm telling you it's not for you. He said, I don't care if it's for me or not. I want that mantra. So the Guru said, okay, take the mantra, but don't blame me. You ask for it, I'll give it to you. So he talks in his ear. Whatever it is, see. So the guy goes home, and he starts chanting. He chants and he chants. Suddenly, poof! Right in front of him was this great, big, amazing man, about 10 feet tall, just muscles. And just like Mr. Clean, you know, in the ads. Just, and just gleaming with power and shocked energy. And so the guy looks at him and he says, who are you? He says, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve you. You chanted my name and I appeared here and I'll give you whatever you want. And the man said, are you really? He said, yeah, it's true. So he said, I want, what I need is a new house. Because my house is kind of old and everything, and I want a new house. And I'd like it in a nice environment. I'd like it on that mountain over there with a nice view where it's clean and everything, because I don't like living here in the city. So if you'll build me a house over there, I'd be very happy for that. And the man said that it was like a genie out of a bottle, you know. He said, oh, but there's one thing I forgot to tell you. There's just one small point. I'm very hungry. I'm always hungry. I'm just ravenously hungry. And I really only eat people. That's, I don't like any other food. I like people. And you look good to me. So if I don't feel like eating as long as I'm busy. If you can keep me busy, then I won't eat you. But if you can't keep me busy, then I'm going to eat you. Okay? The guy said, well, yeah, sure, no problem. He says, I got tons of stuff for you to do. I can keep you busy for my whole life long. I mean, don't worry about that. I'm not worried. If you're happy with this, working all my whole life long, and you're going to be hungry, then that's your problem, not mine. So it's okay. So the Guruji said, shake, well, they shake hands. So he said, then the genie said to him, said, hey, tell me a little more about this house, what you want. So I got it all, give you the best house. So the guy tells him, well, I want a swimming pool, and I want this, and a nursery for my kids, and I want a little zoo in the back with a petting zoo for my kids, and I want a little river going through there, and I like it. He's getting all worked up, and he tells him, oh, he figures it'll take this genie, a few years to build this house, but he's happy to wait because he's going to get. So they say, okay, I understand, no problem. So the genie disappears. And guy goes in the house, fixes a cup of tea, and he said, Jesus, this is amazing. I love that guru. I'm going to tell that guru, thank you very much. It's a lovely, lovely gift, I didn't think it was possible, but now look, it's possible. And he sits down, he's drinking his tea, he's looking out the window, poof, the genie's right there in front of him. And he said, the guy said, well, what are you doing here? He said, well, I finished your house. What's next? He said, what do you mean you finished the house? He said, yeah, I finished the house, come and look. And there, right there, was this amazing place. It was like a palace. The genie had a little extra, just to make it, spruce it up a little bit. Wow, that's incredible. You're amazing. So, and then the genie starts looking at him like, and the guy, oh, that's right, I got to give you something else to do, huh? So he tells him to do this, and the genie does it. And then he says, do that, and the genie does it. And he keeps him busy for a few days, and can keep busy for a week. And then suddenly it's becoming more and more difficult to find things that he wants. It's getting more and more difficult, and he's getting a little nervous. Because as he digs down, all his desires are being satisfied. And of course, he can't want them again because he's already got them, so that's not going to work. The desires, you always have to have a new one. It has to be better and more interesting and more exciting than the last one, right? And every time it comes, the genie's like, starting to smile. He's starting to drool a little bit, licking his lips. This is going to be good. I like you. Yeah, I'm going to eat you soon. And the man's getting panicky. He's getting really nervous. And so he thinks, maybe I better go talk to the guru. See how to stop this guy. See? And so he goes to the guru, and he said, Guruji, how do you stop this mantra from working? And the guru says, oh, you can't stop it. I told you didn't want it. You can't stop it. No, you can't do that. I'm sorry. I told you didn't want it. You said I wanted it. I kept told you again. I said you said you wanted it. I said no. Then you insisted, and I gave it to you. So it's your problem. Go away. So the guy digs up a few more really credible needs and desires, and the genie does them right away. And the guy's really getting scared. He's getting like terrified. He's going to die. And so he goes back to Guru again. He begs him, oh, please, I said, oh, yeah, I understand now what you're saying. I can understand. Please tell me how to stop this Guru. He says, oh, this genie, he says, I can't. I really, help me. Of course, the Guru's got compassion. And he said, okay, I think you learned your lesson. Here's what you do. And he was so. The guy goes back home, and the genie's Pearson. He says, this time the genie, he knows, I got this guy now. So the man said, the genie said, seems like you're a little short on things to do. It seems like I've done everything. I'm getting a little hungry. Could I start eating you? And he said, the man says, no, not quite yet. Just one more thing I'd like you to do. Just have one more, and then we'll see what happens. And he said, okay. He said, I want you to build a pole here, 200 feet tall, like a flagpole, going straight up. I want you to build one of those. So suddenly, up comes this pole right out of the earth. Big, strong, pretty pole, straight up. And then he says, now I want you to get on that pole, and I want you to climb to the top, and when you get to the top, I want you to slide to the bottom, and when you get to the bottom, I want you to go to the top, and when you get to the top, I want you to slide to the bottom until I tell you to stop. Do whatever you want. And the genie, oh, hell, screwed. And the man's happy. Now, what does that mean? Your mind will eat you up. It will kill you. Your desires will kill you if you keep feeding them. What you need to do is take your mind, which is the desiring part, and send it up to God and bring that thought back down into your life and transform your life, and send your mind back up to the truth and bring that truth down and fix it in your life and keep going up and down and up and down. That's something noble. That's something good you can do with your mind. If you're just sitting here, trying to satisfy your own needs, you will die. That's called death. So, that's what he's saying here. Great little story. So he says, this is a definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you're going to get a different result the next time. Every time I reach up to fix that, this pops up, and I have to do it again. So, do your karma yoga, and what should you do? Don't chase money or entertain yourself with sex. That doesn't mean don't have sex. It doesn't mean don't have sex. It means what? Don't think of sex as entertainment. If you love somebody, and that love expresses itself as sex, fair enough. But because you're bored, don't try to fill up your boredom, your empty, boring, stupid life by getting a sexual high. It's just like a drug or something. Don't use sex to entertain yourself. Or what are you going to find out? You're going to end up like, I don't know how many of these people who become a sexaholic, and you'll end up in sex rehab, and it's really, no, seriously, it's a really nasty vasana. You don't want to get yourself caught in that. Don't compromise your values, and don't quarrel with other people. Give up false pride. False pride means what? Pride that's not based upon your accomplishments. You should be proud that you're doing your spiritual work. You should get self-esteem and self-confidence from that. And you should be proud of yourself that you're doing what's right. But don't try to be proud from what? From doing the wrong thing. People do the wrong thing and they think they make themselves proud. So hypocrisy, just tell the truth. Be straightforward. And other vices. You know what they are, the 7 deadly sins. Offering all activities to the Lord. And what should you do with your negative stuff? What should you do with that? Offering all activities to the Lord, one should direct negative feelings, desire, anger, and pride to the Lord. If your mind doesn't purify and you still have negative things, then blame Ishvara, okay? Then give God a hard time. At least you're thinking of God. Okay? You're not putting them on anybody else. You're not making trouble for the world with your bad thoughts. Direct them to Ishvara. Ishvara is not going to be upset. Okay? Because Ishvara is not a big person. Ishvara is not going to punish you. Ishvara understands what you're doing. Ishvara is happy that you're thinking of Ishvara, and so you're okay. If you can't get rid of this negative stuff. Some people just have deep, deep, deep negativity in them that's just got to come out when it comes out. It's like a fetus in the womb. It will only come out when it's ready to come out. And you can't get rid of it by your spiritual practice. Most of your stuff you can get rid of. Most of your negativity you can remove by doing your spiritual work, your inquiry. But some of it doesn't come out. That stuff you should blame it to Ishvara. And get on with it. Anyway, you didn't put it there in the first place, so it is Ishvara's. So you can load it, unload it, offload it on Ishvara and stop feeling bad. Right. Transcending the gunas, the devotee should act only out of pure love of God and remain perpetually in the relationship of a servant to his master or a lover serving her beloved. Okay, we'll just read the rest of these. Time's run out, guys. Party's over. Chapter 5, the glory of the supreme devotee. Among the Lord's devotees, the greatest are those who are dedicated solely as intimate servants. You want to serve the Lord. There's nothing like service. I know that we're all serving our egos, but when you start serving the Lord, there's nothing like it. Everything gets taken care of, I tell you. Your life becomes like you're living on I don't know, it's like a magic carpet ride. When you only think of God and you only serve God, God takes care of you like you're a king or a queen, I tell you. You have no idea how beautiful it is. Everything is taken care of. I was reading about Donald Trump's servant. He's got a butler. He's had the same butler for 35 years. This guy, he lives better than Donald Trump, and he's a lot smarter than Donald, and he's a lot nicer person too. He's a really decent, cultivated, decent guy. Why? He doesn't have to worry. He just serves the boss, Everything's taken care of, life is good. Understand? And what about these people? Conversing among one another with their throats choked, hair standing on end, and tears flowing, the Lord's intimate servants purify their own followers and the whole world. They make holy places holy, and they make our lives auspicious. They justify the scriptures. The non-dual devotee is totally absorbed in God. Their ancestors become joyful. Means what? They fulfill the purpose that they're here. Your mother and your father want you to be happy. And their mother and fathers want them to be happy. And when you're happy, you've what? You've justified your ancestors. The reason that you're here, they put you here was for this, and you have made them happy. It's not really happy, but like that. But you've fulfilled your life's purpose here. The gods dance, and the gods means what? And the earth is protected by a good master. Means what? You will not injure the earth. You'll love the earth. You'll take care of the earth, the world, the environment, the people around you. There are no distinctions among non-dual devotees in terms of social class, education, physical beauty, family, occupation, and so forth, because inwardly they're all equal in the sight of the Lord. Don't argue. Argumentation leads to excessive entanglement and resolves nothing. Respect revealed scriptures and follow their suggestions. Patiently waiting as the mind clears of emotionality, distress, desire, and accomplishment, invest your time in noble pursuits. Cultivate the virtues, non-injury, truthfulness, cleanliness, compassion, and faith in non-dual teachings. Those who are free of doubts should constantly and wholeheartedly worship the Supreme Lord. When glorified, the Lord swiftly reveals itself to devotees and allows them to know him or her as he or she is. It's not a he or a she, so he just means what? Devotion is the most precious possession of a sincere person. Although love of God is one, it manifests in 11 forms, reflecting on God's glory, appreciating God's beauty, worshiping God, remembering God, serving God, communing with God as a friend, caring for God in a parental way, interacting with God as a lover, surrendering everything to God, especially doership, absorption in contemplation of God, and cherishing the separation from God. Even when you're feeling separate, you should be happy that you're feeling separate. That's a strange one, huh? Yeah, so because sometimes you're going to feel apart from God, and you should appreciate that as God. That's fine. There's nothing that's not God, including duality, including separation and ignorance. Appreciate ignorance, appreciate all those things. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have a chapter 11. It's a very difficult chapter, and it's the last chapter before the chapter on devotion. And there, the devotee Arjuna, he is shown all of God, all the good stuff and all of the bad stuff. And it means what? You've got to learn to love the bad stuff too, or your devotion is not non-dual. You have to see that the good is good and the bad is good. It all is serving God. And it all is God. And you have to take it all in. Because as long as you're what? You don't like the good, you don't like the bad, and you only like the good. You're in duality and you're suffering. So you have to find a place to accommodate everything in yourself, and the only place to accommodate everything is in the vision of non-dual love, the vision of yourself as non-dual love. So it is so, and what is it? So, meaning this text, it is universally declared by great Vedic teachers who share the same views on the topic of devotion. Anyone who has faith in these auspicious teachings will attain non-dual devotion. Indeed, he or she will attain unconditional love. Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Guradmeti Murti Beda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham Shri Krishna Govinda Narayana Om. Okay, God bless you all. Hope to see you again sometime. It's been good. Take it easy, enjoy yourself, and worship the Lord. Worship yourself, meaning yourself, love yourself.